Hello, everybody. Okay, so what you don't know is that I've just been talking to myself for 10 minutes, which seems to be something I like doing until Emma pointed out. I don't know if you started, Steffi, but we can't see anything. I am here now, and I've said hello to lots of you already. I've told you what we're doing today. I told you what the competition is, and I've got to say it all again. How boring is that? Okay, boring for me, but probably not boring for you. Apologies for the delay. And you didn't even get the start screen. I launched straight in there, so I do apologize. I forgot to press a button. Happens. Okay, so today we're going to make a very easy peasy simple bauble that we can then decorate with a little detail on there. So basically we're revisiting a lot of the really basic techniques, and but it's a really relaxed tutorial today because we've probably all had stresses in our lives, and you don't need an extra stress maybe today to make something that's really complicated and might just cause you extra stress. So a very easy bauble today, and we've got a we will be talking about different needles, needle tools, how what happens when you stab the needle really deep or on the surface, and when to do which one. We'll talk about different needles. We will talk about slap it on, which is the prize today. You can win this today during our competition. This live stream is always streamed live on a Tuesday on YouTube, and then we have a watch party on Thursday at 7 p.m. on Facebook. So you can watch it on those two occasions, and of course it stays on YouTube. So if you're watching this at any point after the end last week in November, then basically none of the comments or none of the things that are happening live will make much sense to you. But if you're watching today live, then it will make perfect sense to you, unless I make no sense whatsoever, which often happens too. So the slap it on is up for grabs today. It says slap it on, but I never actually slap it on because I try and apply it quite finely. I talk about this a little bit more later, but this is basically on the little robin, and it's already dried, and it's a biodegradable glitter, so you don't have to worry about putting glitter into the environment and it's still there in 1,000 years time. And it's washable, so once it's on there you could actually wash this and it won't come off. So it's not one of those glitters where you do this and lots falls off. Nothing's coming off. It's completely solid on there. Absolutely love this stuff. And the fluid that it sort of carries the glitter looks a little bit like glue, but it's not. It fuses with the fabric, and then basically only the glitter pieces adhere to it, but nothing else. So it's not a glue. It's such clever stuff. I absolutely love it. And you can win this if you tell us in a sentence or two what's your favorite and your most special, your most treasured tree decoration. Just tell us why that is and whether it comes out every year because it reminds you of somebody special, or how long you've had it in your family. Maybe you don't even want to get it out because it's so special that you don't want to damage it or lose it. But we want to hear your most special tree decoration and why it is so special to you. And that's basically how you can win yourself a bottle of Slap It On. And of course, Emma is at the other end, and she will pick a winner at complete random. We don't even we might chuckle at one story more or shed a tear at another. We don't judge the stories. We just want you to participate, and then we pick you at random. And this is how far I got the first time around. Till I was told, Steffi, not really live. Okay, so I'm gonna. Oh no, I also said hello to lots of people. So so I'm gonna start again. Let's have a look who's here. So we've got Sandra is here. Hello, Sandra. If you don't know already, then I've just said it that Emma is at the other end. So representing the makers. Fenny is here. Hi, Fenny. Rachel and Daniel. Hello, both of you. Laura is here. Jane is here. Donna is there. Hi, Donna. Hope you're okay. Carol is there. And she says, hi, everyone. Looking forward to making some festive baubles. Absolutely. Helen is there. Michael is there. Serena, Julie, Erica, Emily, Diana, another Carol. Bonnie is there. Rebecca, Dawn, and Emma's mum. Hello, Emma's mum. Hi, Maria. Emily. Oh, another Emily. This is and oh, what's Donna saying? Now we know who is the voice behind the makers today. Than Emma. Absolutely. It's Emma who is here again today. She's had a week off last week and now we've got her back, slaving away for the makers, racing towards Christmas. Hi, Alicia. Alicia is here. Hope you're much better today and getting better every day. And Alison is here. Karen is here. And we're getting comments in already. I'm just going to read a couple. So Sandra says, my most treasured Christmas decoration is the angel that sits at the top of my tree. It represents my dad who died 27 years ago next Saturday. Bought in the year after he died. So it's 26 years old. Wow, that sounds really special. Wendy says, my favorite, that is now rather delicate, is an angel my eldest son made from paper plate and doily when he was only 3. He's turned 30 this year. It gets taken very carefully out every year. Oh, I just love it. Okay, one more, Alicia. My favorite ornament now is the beautiful porcelain 3-tier wedding cake my dear friend bought my husband and when I got married. Oh, wow. Do you put this on your tree? That's amazing. Okay, one more. Fanny says, my most precious decoration is a small Christmas tree I got as a child from my grandmom. It's completely decorated and more than 50 years old now. Gosh, okay, you win about age here, unless somebody can top this. This is amazing. Right, so let's get started. I'm going to go onto the overview camera so you can see what I'm doing here. Move that book out of the way. In fact, we don't even need that when I'm making dolls today. So first of all, what seems to be a really good pack to use is the spiced mix, and they're just really lovely, sort of warm, festive colors, but mostly warm. You can just imagine, you know, it's sort of cinnamon and maybe a hot turkey curry after the turkey was left over, and you know, a nice sort of Christmas green, and then you've got a nice Christmas red in there as well, and they're just really lovely sort of cinnamon and star anise and these kind of colors, and they work really well for Christmas baubles. So that's basically what I'm using here today. So I'm going to pick now, which color am I going to pick? Ooh, difficult choice. I'm trying to pick one that I haven't got here yet. I'm just looking around. Okay, I think I'm going to pick what can be seen really well. Oh, I'm just going to go with red because that's what we need to do, red. Okay, so there are 10 grams of each of these colors in the bag, and 10 grams makes a bauble about that size. So it's like and it's quite soft still, but it's quite even, and that's sort of the size we're aiming for when we've got all this fluffy stuff here. What's always a good practice, if this is the only bit of that color wool you have got, then do take some off. What's even better is if you were to make a white ball, because you could use you could just buy the white color separately and then save yourself a lot of money, because it's cheaper to buy a white core wool and then cover it with a dyed wool over the top. But I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to start out with this color straight from the start, and I've put a little bit to one side. So I'm going to use our earth-friendly felting mats today, as I do every time, and because I love them, of course, and they are good for the environment too. And all I'm going to do now is I'm trying to roll this wool up and into as neat a ball as I can. And what you see me do there now is I'm teasing the fibers out so that that I get as many wraps on there as possible, because then I can really adjust the ball. I'm sort of slightly going from side to side to side, because I want to keep this as round as I possibly can, and at the same time folding these wispy fibers over so I don't actually end up with any unneatness on the outside. So once I've done this, the last few bits, just got to sort of, I'm just manipulating the ball now, so that I've just got these wispy ends here at the very end. I'm folding them over with one hand, reach for my needle, which I should have had ready sooner. And it's best to start with a coarse needle. And all I'm doing now is I'm just literally fastening these wispy ends that were sticking out onto this shape. So now I've got a shape which is very unshapely actually. It's got a bit of a crack here. It's got a gap here. It's quite flat and definitely longer than wide. So I'm obviously needing to move this around the mat and step in strategic places to get it nice and round like I want it to be. Okay, so the way to remember what needle felting does is wherever you stab the needle, say I stab it here, that is where the reduction takes place. So it's almost like you imagine if you were shaping this with your fingers, if it was clay, you would just squish it in a bit. In fact, it responds a little bit like that. And where you apply the pressure with your hand, that is where you want to stab the needle. So to get it moving that way, I'm going to stab it in here. Now, I mentioned earlier that what happens if you stab the needle just superficially or quite deep. So I want this ball to have quite a soft finish. Like I say, this is 10 grams of wool and it's quite soft. If you're going to add lots and lots of surface pattern on it, like this one here, the more you add onto the top, the smaller the ball will get. So you can see that this is the same weight, but this is really firm and this is really squishy. So if you know that you're going to add a lot of surface color over this, then you can already get the ball to be quite firm. And for this, you stab the needle beyond that working area. So there is sort of that working area, which is about 1 inch or so. That working area is the only thing that does something when you stick it into the wool. This part here, that's quite smooth, is just part of the handle. So that does nothing because it's smooth. But if you only ever stab superficially, so like this, you're only ever gonna needle felt the area that's as long as the working part of the needle. If you go deeper, you're actually needle felting the whole area. I mean, the needle is even coming out the other end. I don't know if you can see that there, which is why we rested on a felting mat. Then you are actually felting the inside, the core of this ball that you have made, and the outside. So you're doing both. You're felting the fibers from the outside in, whereas if you're just stabbing the needle very superficially, you're only felting the outside. Now, why is this of interest? So it's of interest because sometimes when you feel your ball, you can feel it already feels quite densely felted in one part, but the other part is really soft. So you really want to catch up with that. So you could stab the needle into there a bit more deeper and felt the inside, tangle up all that wool inside as well. Remember, we've only rolled it up, so there has been no felting on the inside of the ball, which you can keep it nice and soft. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it because needle felting isn't like that. There aren't right or wrong ways of doing things. It's just your personal preference, but also depends how much decoration you want to put onto your bauble, because the more you work on the surface, the more you make the bauble or the ball uneven again, because you're working on a particular area more. I'll show you lots and lots of different examples for this. So I'm just happily stabbing away. The more I think about needle felting, every time I do this, I'm actually thinking, you know how everybody talks about mindfulness? I actually think most of the time we just need to do mindlessness. I just sometimes think we just need to switch our mind off and just stab. And stabbing the needle into the repetitive rhythmic motion that you're doing is just so therapeutic, and just so, and with a crunch that you sort of hear and feel, it is just a very soothing and a very relaxing craft to do. So sometimes I just want to switch my mind off. I don't know about you guys, but I just want to switch my mind off, keep my hands busy and empty my mind entirely. So to me it is without the mind, just switch it off and let all the thoughts and everything just totally disappear, and just keep your hands busy. That's always a good thing. So all I'm doing now is I'm just turning the ball. Every time I look at it, this is taking quite nice shape. Every time I look at it and I think, oh, there's a bit sticking out, I stab in there. I'm using a single needle at the moment. I love using single needles. I know lots of people like using a handle, and that is absolutely fine, because if you've got achy joints, then that's perfect. I've also got a needle here that normally takes 3 needles, but I've only got 2 needles in there. That, of course, will speed things up a little bit. However, just be mindful that you've literally got this working area for the needle. So if you've got a larger shape and you want to stab it right into the center, you might be restricted by how far the needles are sticking out of this particular handle that you're using here. We do have the blue version, which is a slightly more economical and cheaper version of this needle felting tool, and I really wanted to show you the clover tool that has got is in principle the same, but it's much favored by people who have already got it, because it's a better quality, to be honest. So I'm firming this up with every stub I'm doing now. I'm saving half the time, because I've got 2 needles there, and I absolutely love it. And even just with 2 needles, sometimes I prefer using 2 needles than 3 needles, and I often actually hold 2 needles in one hand. So if I haven't got a tool to hand, I just hold the needles parallel, make sure that I grip them quite well, and then I just use them like this. If you are starting out with a coarse needle, you might find that after a while the needle just bounces off. So I can feel this happening here with these needles, especially with 2 needles that are so close together. I sort of have to like just go that little bit too hard to get it in. If that is the case, then do go down a needle size. Or you could change the needle type. I don't know if you can see this in the camera, but in here I have actually got what are they called again? Sorry, I just need to these are the, hang on, I've got them here, so I need to just remind it myself. Okay, that's not going according to plan. I think it's the Crossstar Needle. Yes, it is the Crossstar Needle. So the Crossstar Needle has got I'm just going to show you if I write on a piece of paper. So if you've got a Crossstar Needle, it's literally as if, I'm going to write on here now. I haven't got any other paper here, or do I? No, so I'm just going to write on the earth mat here, earth mat thingy, right on the back. So the Crossstar needle, the shape, if you looked at it in under the microscope, is more like that. It's probably more like that, actually. There, like that. So because that's the cross section of it, has got the shape like this, and so there is a lot of scope to put notches on there. Whereas if you just got a triangular needle, you only got these 3 sides. Here you've got probably double the amount of surface to put little notches into the needle. And if you do that, then the needle, there's also more scope for the needle to sink in smoother, but at the same time it's really efficient working needle, because it's got more notches in there and it works much harder. That's the same with the twisted needle. So if you have an extra twist on there, again, you are making the needle easier to fit into your needle felted shape, and you can also add more notches onto it. And so this is the sort of thing, once you start using twisted or the Crossstar needle, you almost can't then go back to the other ordinary triangular needles, though I'm sure you know, they have their place as well for different projects. Now if you remember, I put a little bit of wool to one side. Can you see that I've got an uneven surface here? So if you want to smooth out the surface, all you need to do is just take a little bit, like literally the dusting of a wool. It's almost like see-through. You can almost see my fingers through. Lay it over that area and smooth it down with your hands and just stab it in gently. It is the most amazing thing that with needle felting you can cover up cracks. I wish I could do that with myself, but you can do it with needle felting. You can cover up cracks quite easily. So you just basically put a bit of the wool over the area that doesn't look so nice, felt it down, and you have no longer an unsightful area on there at all. Now, if you're crafting along, I'm going to let you catch up with me, because I know I'm a fast crafter, so hopefully you'll be catching up with me, and I'll tell you a few other things what's happening with the makers at the moment. Right, first of all, I think I might have a quick look again who's actually here. Maybe we can read some more special tradition or special bauble stories out. Let's have a look. I try and catch up from where I was. Okay. Oh my goodness, there's lots of you commenting. It's really lovely to see so many of you. My favorite is a felt puffin, which my other half bought me from Iceland. My favorite bird and the place we got engaged. Oh well, I've got a news for you, Emily. We're going to have a puffin in one of our makers boxes next year. So hopefully you'll be able to make your own. Carol says, my grandmother had glass baubles and an angel with porcelain legs and head. I now have the angel and just 2 of her baubles. They are my favorite and possibly 65, 70 years old. Goodness gracious me, that's amazing. I don't think anything survives that long in our house. Yes, reminds me of that really precious water carrier that my grandfather left me, because he grew up in Turkey, and he had given every one of his grandchildren the most precious one to his oldest granddaughter, and then it went down, and I was the second oldest, so I had quite a nice one actually. And then I went away working, and I had this call from my youngest daughter, and she said, Mum, I really didn't mean to, and she smashed the whole thing. And having had 4 children and having so many things broken, I just said, just put it in a plastic bag and throw it away. And I don't even want to see the shards. Don't even keep them. It was in absolutely loads of pieces, but it was a really old thing. So I just thought, oh, well, it's just porcelain or just some clay or whatever it was made of. And I just had to move on quickly, really quickly. But that is quite amazing that you've got such an old heirloom there. So Bridget says, my favorite bauble is one that is a handmade glass one with an old picture of my brother Paul, who was a policeman and he died on duty. It always reminds me of him and his laughing smile. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, how nice is that to have a picture on a bauble? I've never seen that before. That's amazing. Emily says, my favorite Christmas decoration is a set of toy soldiers that my mum and dad bought from Hamley's toy shop. Oh, sorry, screen just jumped. In London before I was born. Each soldier has his own musical instrument, a tiny pair of cymbals. Oh, that's so nice. When you plug them in, they create an adorable orchestra. They play Christmas songs, and I have so many wholesome memories of sitting around them and listening to their festive show. Oh, that's so nice. I mean, let's face it, this is what Christmas is all about. It's about taking a moment and maybe thinking of old times, thinking of people that maybe are no longer in your life for however long, and just getting that sort of cozy feeling, and I don't know, just that like reflective mood, nice food, even rhymes, nice music, family time, or just togetherness somehow. So I genuinely and sincerely hope that none of you are going to be on your own, entirely on your own. So that I can't, well, I don't know. I have had Christmases on my own and quite enjoyed them. I will be honest, because I'm quite somebody who just shuts myself away, and I love it. Just thinking that nobody knows what I'm doing, and I'm all hidden away. I did get an invitation. That was many years ago before I had children and I was married. I did get an invitation, and I declined it politely because I was actually really happy with my own company. But that is a choice. If you can make the choice, then perfect. If you're stuck on your own and you want to be with other people, then that's sad. We've also had the opposite happen, that we've invited friends to our house twice. Sorry, I've got to laugh at this because it turned out to be a total nightmare, where some people, they were stuck on their own, and our Christmas was truly spoiled because we just couldn't. It was just the weirdest experience ever, and I don't know. I don't want to say they weren't nice people, but it was just horrible, basically. So we've decided, okay, it's just gonna be us, and that's it. But I'm sure you have had really nice stories of inviting people around. I know my husband once took a homeless person home, on New Year's Eve, sorry, Christmas Eve, after a pub crawl, and he offered him a roof over his head. That's many, many years ago, way before I even knew him. And then the following day, the guy, he just said, haven't you got any breakfast, like bacon and egg? And he'd only had muesli in the house. So yeah, anyway, he had a roof over his head. So what more can you say about that? Right. Let's just see what else we've got here. I hope you're catching up with your bauble and not just writing out. I think we've hit a nerve here with all your amazing stories. I've actually lost where I was last now. I can't really say I have a favorite, says Dawn, tree decoration, because my mum and my daughters buy me new ones every year. Well, they become favorites in years to come. So that's really nice. Michael says, run out of words. I made a new aeroplane last year and gave one to my sister. Okay, maybe I'm missing something there again because that's kind of a bit random, but well done for giving an aeroplane to your sister and for making them in the first place. Helen says, I have several favorite baubles as they were all bought by my family and friends for our first Christmas at our first home together. Wow, that's nice. Laura says, got a new favorite ornament for my tree is my fairy I made with Alicia, Diana, Erica, and others. She is based on a maker's fairy. I hope she lasts many years. She's sitting on top of my tree. Oh, that's a nice story. And in years to come, maybe somebody will say, oh, this is a very special heirloom tree decoration from Laura. Faith says, my favorite or my faff tradition is my delicate red glass. Sorry, yes, that's right. Glass bauble that my granddad left us. There are a set I have left them to you. These are a set I have left them to you so that at each Christmas you can bring them together again as they were meant to be. Oh, that's so nice. That's such a good idea. Oh, maybe you need to make a set of baubles and then hand them out to separate people and say that they have to bring them together for Christmas. That's a really lovely idea. Erica says we have a bauble with a Santa in there on angel hair, put in a plastic bauble for safekeeping. It's now 57 years old, still hangs in the Christmas tree. That's amazing. I love it that your stuff's also old. I think maybe I didn't hide my stuff well enough from my children. Everything gets broken in my house, but who knows? Right, okay, let's get on. Let's stop gaping at all the amazing things here. Oh yes, maybe I should tell you something else. What can I tell you? Oh yes, so if you get into baubles, that's a good point maybe to mention. You probably already know this because I've said it many times. We've even done a live stream. We've got a penguin and reindeer bauble pack that makes 3 of each, and it hasn't got any tools in it, but you can use your own. And these are there's a little reindeer here looking all sheepish, and there's a little penguin just slipped out of the picture there, and you can make 3 of each. And then of course we've also got our robin and pudding bauble pack. I can't show you any puddings because we've been raided. The reason why we've been raided of all our puddings, we are actually supporting our local shops in the town that we are based in, and they're hiding them as a treasure hunt in the shop windows. So we've given up all of our puddings, and hopefully we're going to get some back. But that's another pack that you can get to make a little robin bauble or a Christmas pudding bauble, or you can make them like fat little robins. I quite like that one. So that's quite nice to make too. And if you are one of our subscribers, you'll know that you still have time to get your Badger and Woodland subscription box. I've seen some amazing results come back. You get everything in there, including the structural felt to make the tree and, well, the base and the Badger set. And there's an old what's it called, hollow tree trunk, and can make little toadstools, and obviously the Badger too, which is a complete and complete make as well, so he can go back in there again. So that's still available until the 30th of November, and after that, if you are subscribing after that, you're going to make a little sleepy kitten in her own little basket. She's fast asleep, and obviously there you go, that's her. You can make her in the December box. That's the maker's box. And if you are a subscriber to our fairy boxes, then this is the Christmas fairy that you can make. So she's all in white with a little bell and lots of decoration and some really lovely iridescent wings there. And I can't reach the snowdrop fairy now, and I can't get out of here because I've built myself in. But for December, you make a really, really lovely little snowdrop fairy. I promise you, she's really beautiful. So no, she's not here. Oh well, never mind. You can just imagine her. And of course, we've also got the surprise boxes. It's space travel this month, and no idea what it's next month, but Emma will tell you in a minute, and maybe she's going to tell me too. Right, let's get back to the bauble. There we are. So the bauble hasn't changed at all because I've been chatting. So the next thing is you can decide now to decorate the bauble, and that decoration is entirely up to you, how you want to do that, and how you want to do that. Before I do this, I will just do a little bit of problem solving here. So say you've made a bauble, and you didn't have scales and you didn't know how much you needed, and it's turned out rather small, and you want to make it bigger. Okay, December boxes sparkle, just for those who don't know. So say you've still got wool, and you want to make it bigger. You can actually make the size bigger anytime. Just wrap the wool around it in a similar way as you wrapped it up initially. So make sure that you don't get too many sort of cracks and uneven parts on there. And wrap the wool around it, stab it in, and you're basically felting the shape again as you did with a smaller shape, but you know already that you've got quite a solid core inside, so you could just go straight onto a needle felting tool where you know the needles don't sink all the way in, and that way you can make your little bauble a big bauble. So that's one sort of problem solving solutions that I thought. Problem solving solutions. I'm talking complete nonsense. It's a solution to a problem if you wanted to make a smaller bauble bigger. So you can just cover it with an extra layer and then work on the shaping and so on again. If you've got a wonky bauble, say for example, well, this one here is definitely, I think we've covered most of this already, is definitely slightly oblong. Then, but if you then think, well, if I stab in here, all I'm doing is I'm just going to put wrinkles in it. You don't want a wrinkled bauble. So the solution to this is that you go at an angle. So you're still pulling it in the shape in the right direction, but you're actually stabbing the needle at a shallow angle. So it pulls it that way, but it stops the wrinkles from happening. And then, of course, with needle felting, you're always adjusting all around all the time, because that's just the nature of needle felting, is that it's never really finished until you decide it's finished, not because you've done the next step. There's always something that you will be revisiting and adjusting. So if you've got any questions, fire away. If you need any particular help, or maybe you're making along and you come up against the barrier that you need help with. So I've got my ball here now. If you are a perfectionist, then I can highly recommend using a very fine felting needle, which you will find if you get our mega mix. You have them all in there. The all sizes, very fine. It's the light. The pale pink, which I have taken out of there, so that's not in there anymore. But you can also maybe start with a 40. Oh no, there's a 40. So the red is the 40, but we have got an even finer one, which is a 42, and that will make that so smooth. You'll be absolutely amazed. It takes quite a while to felt in a concentrated area and then expand around it to make a really, really smooth finish. And when you've done all of that, so if you want to make a really solid bauble, then that's a way to do it. I let you into a little secret. You can also chuck it in the washing machine, and that will tighten the fiber in really neatly, and then you can adjust things afterwards with a needle, or even add little details to it. These little balls will definitely shrink a lot if you put them in the washing machine, because there's a lot of air in them still. So they'd probably be more, what size will they be well, they'd probably be more that size of the ball that I've just made bigger. So just be warned, but it will really tighten the fiber together, but then you might have to sort of add extra decorations over the top. But this fine needle, if you're a perfectionist, you'll love this one. It is very satisfying to make things really even and neat, and work on the surface and get all the lumps and the bumps to even out. It's very, very addictive and very satisfying. It's almost like, how long can I do this before I don't find anything that's uneven anymore? So it's almost like you're zooming in and seeing just sections of it, rather than seeing the big picture, which I think perfectionists are very good at doing. Right. So if you want to add decoration over the top, you can use different colors. I have a it's quite nice to use bits of the other colors that are in your spiced pack. You might also like rainbows, so for that, of course, we have got our rainbow wool mix. You get just 8 rainbow colors in this one, or if you want to splosh out, then get the 15 color rainbow packs with 10 grams in there, so you know straight away that makes whatever. Now what you see me do here is I've taken a little bit of white. I'm going to tease it out. So if you want a delicate decoration, then make it as delicate as you can, and using this fine needle works also really well, because you sort of not just, if you're using a coarse needle to do this, all you're going to do is stuff the decoration that you're trying to have on the surface. It will just get stuffed inside. I will show you the difference with a coarse needle. So if you have a coarse needle and you want to start this, the decoration just disappears. Can you see how it's disappearing? And then you get a really bad indentation as well, which is not the end of the world, because you can always adjust around where you're needle felting anyway. But using a fine needle, what I'm using here is the 40 twisted needle, which is red. We also have a 42 extra fine twisted needle, which is, it will just blow your head. No, that's not how you say it. Will blow your mind how perfect and how smooth you can get things done. That doesn't just apply to baubles, that applies to anything, of course. If you're needle felting, it's one of the common questions that we get asked a lot. How do I make my surface smooth and get rid of the pock marks? Well, that's the answer. You just use a really fine needle and just go over it. It almost takes as long to smooth it out and make it fine as it probably has taken to make the whole thing. So that is it's a good solution to that. If you are interested in the single colors of our spiced mix, then the one that I'm using now is the deep red variegated. So they're all variegated colors. They all have got sort of like a dark fiber running through it, but it really works well with these colors, with this sort of spice mix. We've also got in that pack, we have got so that's the deep red. Then we've got the fox red variegated, we've got the fox orange variegated in there, we've got the ochre in there, and we have got the dormouse variegated in there. So they're all variegated. And then we have also got the green variegated and the turquoise variegated in there. And then there's just a white fiber, which I believe is the Gotland white. So you can see that I'm felting on this decoration. It definitely works using a fine needle to get a really nice even finish. And I'm twisting this as I'm going. I'm painting this on as I'm going, twisting it and felting it on. And then when you've done enough, then you just you can just tear the rest of the wool off, or maybe you need to add more. Just add it straight on where you left it off, and that is one way of doing a decoration on there. And they look really effective if you color in the whole bauble. or not color it in, but if you decorate it. And what you see me do now is I'm adjusting the shape all around. So this is when a bauble becomes firmer, because you're actually working on one area and it has made it slightly flat, not as flat as it would have done with a using a thicker needle, but you will find that you will be adjusting around the area to make compensate for that addition that you've just made on one part of the bauble. So that's one way how you could decorate it, with a little spiral. It could go all the way around. It could be in different colors. I really like it when they have the stars. I've got one hanging here that has got a star on it, but I've put slap it on earlier, and it hasn't dried yet, so it doesn't look very nice. So I'll show you that hopefully in a minute. But if you put a star on, don't worry about measuring every single strand of wool you put on there. Just start off with one, like that. Stab that in with your fine needle, and again, just adjust the surround. So that's something you will be doing all the time. And then you start putting more. So put across first. There. If you had the bleach white, that would be amazing. It doesn't come in that spice pack, but the bleach white would be really nice, a really brilliant white contrast to any of these colors. Going all around, stabbing in. You might even want to go back to your multi-tool or a coarser needle. And by the way, the competition cutoff point is when I'm putting slap on this bauble. I said that already the first time round, but I forgot to mention it in my second attempt after I was actually live. And so you just crisscross the white strands of wool that you've made on top of each other. Doesn't matter if one's longer than the other. It's like a twinkly star, which when they twinkle in the sky, they don't look very symmetrical. And then you can do one more across there, and that's another way of adding a decoration. There are some stunning decorations because there is a technique. I think it's a Japanese technique. Is it called tamari balls or something like that? And you could like get completely carried away and put all kinds of fantastic decorations on your needle felted bauble. But I will warn you now, if you do that, it will shrink probably to the size of what the washing machine would have done. So you do need to be mindful of that, and maybe start out with more wool, or maybe you'd quite like them quite small. And I'm just using the tool to adjust for the bits of wool or the shaping that sort of gets left behind because I'm not stabbing into there. So you can see I'm just all the time stabbing either into the decoration or I'm stabbing into the ball to adjust for it. And this is getting really quite firm now. So of course you can also put a contrasting color on there. It's quite nice. Maybe you even want to put a Christmas tree on there. So you could just make a decoration. Oh, I don't want to cover this up now. Okay, I'm going to take a new ball for that. A new bauble for that. Start with a purple one. And so there is actually, we'll just show you this in the book here. There's a bauble decoration idea in here, which is this one, where you can have a circular, like a zigzag, and it sort of weaves its way up, and then just put a dot at the top, and it's almost like the hint of a Christmas tree, and that works quite well as well. But of course you can also literally decorate your bauble with a scene. So if it's not a simple pattern anymore, but you could make you could needle felt a Christmas tree on there by just felting a shape that resembles a Christmas tree, like that, and then add other things on the bauble. A couple of years ago, I don't know who had the subscription box, then we had a robin bauble, which you could sort of, you know, color the background in and then needle felt a big robin on top. That's, I think, gosh, is that already 2 years ago? pretty certain it is. Or you could needle felt a whole landscape onto your bauble. Again, once you start felting into it more in a more concentrated area, then you find yourself adjusting all the way around, and could even give it like a little, oh, you could give it a red pot that it's sitting in. Just pre-felt that a bit because that's more of a structured shape there. And then you could even color in the Christmas tree with multicolor wool to make like little twinkly star lights on there. So all of that is possible. There is no limit to your the possibilities and your creativity and your imagination. Just go for it, and have a play. And maybe you're creating that very special bauble that will hang in 50, 60, 70 years time on a tree somewhere, and people will say, oh, this was given to me by my auntie or my grandmother or my dad or whoever, as a special decoration. There's all kinds of things that you can add onto your bauble for special effects. And just gonna go onto the big camera. So I will start with the slap-on in a minute. So you've got another minute to tell us the special a special tree decoration and the story behind it. But before I do that, I will just say that this is now the project that we have made a sample of, which you will make through our weekend hug in January 30th and 31st. And that particular Zoom workshop is now booked up. That weekend is booked up, but we are offering a second date on the 6th and 7th of February, which is also a Saturday and a Sunday. So you can make this still with us. Drop us a line. We're info@themakers with 2s.co.uk if you're interested. That is in 2021. So if you're watching this anytime in the future after that, then we've moved on and doing something entirely different, no doubt. But this is the project, and the idea is that you will get a luxury box from us with really lovely treats in there, because we're really proud to have to uphold our 4 F's, and that's it's nothing to do with swear words. It's basically friends, fun, fluff, and food. So we promise you that during that weekend you have the benefit of all 4. And if you want to do a larger project during January, a make along over 3 Tuesday, or if you're watching during the watch party on Facebook on a Thursday, then you can join me to make the polar bear. We are already selling the polar bear packs. In fact, I know some of you have already made a polar bear, and you get everything in there to make this handsome polar bear skiing. So you get the skis in there as well. You have, I said yesterday, I said, can I take a polar bear back with me? And I said, oh, it's just white. But I don't know what I imagined, because he is white. But there's a bit of black in there as well. You get your skis in there, and obviously you get your eyes and the instructions as well. So if you want to craft a head, you're very welcome to do that. Of course, the free tutorial on our YouTube is an extra, a gift from us to you. So they are for sale, and they're actually very reasonably priced at £13.50. So it's definitely worth getting one of those whilst we've still got them, and whilst you've got time to get them before January. Oh God, I can't believe I'm saying January already. So right, time for Slap It On. Competition is closed. If you haven't told us about your special heirloom bauble or tree decoration now, then you can't now anymore either. Well, you can, but you're not going to be in the draw. And I will show you again about the slap-on. So this is what you're winning. Maybe I should do this on the overhead camera, because maybe you can see this better. So this is the glitter that it puts on there, and this is quite generous. I put a lot on there because that was when I was trying it, which is why I say I don't actually slap it on anymore. So it's completely, it really doesn't come off. There's not a single bit of glitter that's coming off. Once it's on, you can actually wash it. You can use this on other fabric as well. This doesn't have to be on wool. You can put this onto cotton fabric, onto clothes, onto anything sort of textile fabric, and it will bond with the fibers, and it will stay on. So it is not a glue. You can't glue things together, but the actual little glitter bits here will fuse into the fabric. And I have got a bauble here. So this is what it might look like when you're putting it on. It hasn't dried yet, because it is a white substance. It actually it will dry clear, but it looks quite horrible when you put it on. So don't be disheartened by it. When it dries, all the white will disappear and it will just look like sparkly stuff. And we've got a winner for our competition today on the live stream on YouTube. It will be a different one on Thursday when we're watching this party. And it's Emily H. Well done, Emily. You won yourself one of these. A slap it on a bottle with contents, of course. And I will just show you how I put it on. So when you get it, it has got like a loopy lid on there. You have to cut the top off, so it doesn't come with a hole in the top. So if you think nothing is coming out and you've tried for hours, then I'm saving you the time now. And then you just squeeze a tiny bit. I just think you need a tiny bit, but it is white. It's completely white, and it's not a glue. It's not even a glue type of texture when you put it on. It's quite sort of, I don't really know how to explain it, what it feels like. It's yeah, and you just dab it on, spread it out. So it's quite thick consistency, but I promise you it will completely dry away into just the sparkle. So all the white stuff will just disappear. I'll just show you on my finger. So once it dries away, I don't know if you can see, can you see the sparkles in there? Maybe just. So imagine all that white stuff will just disappear, and you're just left with the sparkles. It's really nice. I really like it. Okay, so don't know where to put that now. Distribute in my hand and probably walk around sparkling for the rest of the day. Oh yeah, I still got it on me. So it basically it does bond. Oh goodness me, what have you done to me now? Got sparkly fingers. It will disappear. Well, I'll just show you this, because it does actually look very sparkly now. Can you see my sparkly fingers? It's everywhere. Okay, so maybe wash your hands instead of just rubbing it all along your hands. Or everything will sparkle. Yeah, anyway. So it is environmentally friendly. Of course, you can buy this from us as well. So don't feel too disappointed if you didn't get it in as a competition price. Just pop onto our website and get your bottle. That way, it lasts forever, and it's basically, what does it actually say on there? Matte medium for fabric, tissue technique, decoupage, collage, and mixed media. Hand wash at 40 degrees after iron fixing. Oh, so you have to iron fix it first if you want to wash it in the machine. Okay, I didn't know that. Paint your wood. Oh God, I can't even read that. It's tiny writing. Okay, I'm not even going to start. Right. Okay. It's nothing to do with age. Okay, so I think that's the baubles done. If oh, there's one thing I wanted to show you. I'm going to go to the smaller camera. So I think it's really nice to make a gift, and for this one, I've used our 10 pendants with satin ribbon. And if you've never had these before, they're really sweet little hearts. Turn it the right way around, and it says on there, oh, need to get the hang on, let me try something. If I come up like this and that's all it sees, it might zoom in. No, come on, do it. No, it's not doing it. Anyway, you have to read. This is what it just looked like when I looked at that bottle. That's why I didn't read it. It says made with love. It's a little metal tag, and you could have your bauble decorated with that on the top, and then it's a really nice gift as well. The little thread that I'm holding here is our sparkly thread. If you never know what to hang it up with, it's got an iridescent shine to it. You can buy that from us as well. It's a Trimitz one. It's loads and loads of meters on there. Yeah, don't know how many meters, but that will hang up totally, I nearly said a word that started with SH. Loads of baubles or other Christmas decoration. It's really delicate and sort of not too offensive when they're hanging on the tree. Have I forgotten anything else? I don't think I have. I think that's it. So short and sweet with a 10-minute mono dialogue, which you don't know about, but I did it. And thank you very much for joining us. Remember to share on Everyone a Maker. This is an old mug, Emma, sorry. Everyone a Maker, our Facebook group. Come and share your baubles with us. And if you want to catch up again with us then join us on Thursday. Remember, this will stay on YouTube, so you have a chance to watch this anytime. Oh, and I've just been reliably informed that the sparkly thread is in the sub club this month. So if you're a subscriber, you get your extra special discount. There you go. That's amazing. Right. That's all from me today. Stay safe. Have a lovely rest of the week and get those baubles done. Maybe make 6 and give one to different members of the family and then tell them to come together each Christmas so that the baubles reunite. And I'll just quickly read oh, I always sparkle. Who says that? Pamela. Oh, thank you, Pamela. How kind. I definitely sparkle today. So does my earth mat. Everything is sparkling here at the moment. My mat is sparkling. Everything is sparkling. Thank you very much. I know you're all thanking me now. So I thank you too. And I leave you and love you. And I see you very soon. Yeah, whenever. I can't remember. Next week, we're starting on the hoggy. So that's really exciting. Bye-bye, guys.